Today, we'll be doing a quick drive of what I think is the fastest, most outlandish, and craziest supercar that Mercedes has ever produced to date. This is the 2021 Mercedes AMG GT Black Series.
So, what we have here is something that I didn't think we would ever see on the channel because, we get our fair share of Huracans, 720s, McLarens, Porsches, and whatnot. But this car here, this car is simply on a whole nother level. Sure, I could see how if you're a non-assuming pedestrian just strolling by on the street, you could easily mistake this for a base 120K AMG GT. But then you would also have to be blind. And rumor has it is that if you walked into a dealership right now and you offered them $100,000 over the base $330,000 sticker price, they would still laugh you all the way out the door.
That's because historically, every AMG Black Series car has become somewhat of a collector's item. A special trim, sort of like Ferrari Speciale or Scuderia, maybe Lambo's SVJ, and it's even more rare than a Porsche GT2 RS. But with this year's craziness, we're seeing these cars go for upwards of $500,000. Anyway, there's a lot going on here on the outside, and the first thing my wife said to me when we saw the car is that it actually reminded us a lot of the Viper ACR Extreme we recently reviewed. The Magma Beam Orange is quite similar to the T8 Orange Viper that we tested too. It sports new fender louvers, massive hood vents to release all that engine heat, wider bodywork than an AMG GTR, as well as a manually adjustable front splitter, and a massive electronically adjustable dual element rear wing. And out back, they moved the exhaust pipes to the outside like the original AMG GTs, but it's 4 round tips instead of 2 big square ones. All in all, this thing is 130 pounds lighter than a run-of-the-mill AMG GT Coupe, and 70 pounds lighter than the track-focused GTR. So basically, it still weighs a tad over 3,600 pounds. Regardless, not only is it considered the lightest AMG GT ever, but it's also the most powerful. That's because under the hood is the new Mercedes M178 LS2, which kind of sounds like a C6 Corvette and a C63 AMG had a stepchild. But I assure you, you couldn't be further from the truth. Because this here is a mythical 4-liter twin-turbo flat-plane crank V8 that makes 720 brake horsepower, and just a hair under 600 pounds of torque. With all that said, they claim to do a sub 3 seconds 0 to 60 and a low 10-second quarter-mile time, as well as being one of the fastest production cars around the Nürburgring ring right now. The interior hasn't changed much from a normal AMG GTR. It's still covered in Alcantara from head to toe, and my favorite little traction dial is still there to help you fine-tune wheel spin. If you aren't familiar with the AMG GT series, the center console here has all your pertinent drive mode and exhaust toggles. But the cool thing with these newer model years is that they started throwing digital dials on the steering wheel too. And frankly, that's pretty neat. A little Ferrari-esque, but I'm more of an old-fashioned kind of guy where I like, physical switches. Fun fact though, in the US, you can't get the full Euro-spec titanium roll cage. Instead, you get this tiny little carbon fiber roll bar that I guess allows you to actually use your rearview mirror. But yeah, I think it's time we get to the driving, so let's see what she actually sounds like. Pardon the granny revs, I wasn't sure how hard I could push it yet.
Talks about how, they're disappointed with that exhaust note out back, and honestly, it isn't that bad. I mean, yes, from outside of the car, it's kind of a letdown, but a lot of it from the inside, it sounds really... Oh. It sounds good, but you know what? It's actually all piped in. A lot of that kind of like raw sounding, engine note is fake. It's kind of like how BMW does it. But you know what? It's okay.
I am a little disappointed to be honest though. After hearing the C806's flat-plane crank V8 in all those spy videos, it's hard not to be. The symphony outside of the AMG is just so muted that you can actually hear the wastegates doing their thing. But this car is honestly all about the driver. Like the AMG GTR, the driving position is very focused. And like any long hoodline front-engine sports car with rear-wheel drive, it feels very familiar to me. When you go to change the drive modes, this thing changes over from a fire-breathing track monster to a C-Class going to the grocery store. You would never actually want to daily drive this Black Series, but frankly, you could, if you were Bruce Wayne. And as you probably noticed, there's a lot of road presence. It measures 81.7 inches wide with the mirrors, and in case you're wondering, that is indeed wider than an Aventador. Couple that with the super sexy Pan America grille and crazy aero, it's hard not to see this thing coming up on you in the rear view. The gear shifts from the 7-speed dual clutch gearbox are amazing as well. Up and down are both very satisfying. There's a tremendous amount of low-end torque in this car, and like a McLaren, the speed becomes somewhat effortless as you lay into the throttle. It's virtually impossible not to break any speed limits in here. Like I said, the car gets pretty hot, even with just pushing it on the street, but I guess that means these vents are doing their job. Right, so because the car was still within its 1,000-mile braking period, we took it somewhat easy and didn't do any performance testing. What I will tell you though is that right off the bat, it doesn't feel nearly as fast as a 720S, even though they have similar amounts of power. Of course, I could be wrong because I'm just going off my butt dyno, but I would still put my money on a 720 as being the faster car simply because the curb weight is a few hundred pounds lighter. That's only in a straight line though. If you put these two around a track, I'm willing to bet that hands down the Black Series would eat the McLaren. On the street, the car got a lot of compliments too, but I think that's mainly because of the color. And like I mentioned in the beginning, even a casual car enthusiast may not be able to tell the difference between something like this and a, AMG GTR. At the end of the day, I'm just really grateful to have been able to spend some time with such a beautiful machine. And special thanks to the owner, who will remain somewhat anonymous here, for making my first traveling episode pretty special for me and my family. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this episode, and as always, I'll catch you all on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. If so, it'd be awesome if you can hit that like button and share the video with your friends. I can't cover everything I want to in the short amount of time that I have, so if I missed something, let me know in the comments below. As you probably know, it's mainly just me and my wife doing this channel in our spare time. So if you want to show your support, I'd really appreciate it if you took a look at our merch store, or maybe bought something through our Amazon affiliate links in the description below. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to check out some more videos on the channel. I produce all sorts of cinematic car content, so if you like what you see, smash that subscribe button for new episodes whenever they come out. Thanks for watching.